Hello everyone, welcome to another probability and statistics video. Today we're gonna cover the independent events subtopic. Independent events are the events which occur freely of each other, which means that the occurrence of one event does not affect the occurrence of the other. Like for example, let's suppose that we're gonna toss a coin and it comes up heads 3 times. Then, what is the chance that the next toss will also be head? Well, for this one, we just have 2 possibilities, either tail or head. So the probability for us is 1 out of 2. Then we move on into the second toss. The possibilities are the same because we're just gonna have one option out of 2, which is head. Then we move on into the third toss. Well, the probability once again is going to be 1 out of 2. So based on this, what do you think is going to be the probability for the next one? Perfect. It's going to be exactly the same, 1 out of 2. What it did in the past will not affect the current toss. Therefore, the probability for each one of these tosses is the same, 1 out of 2. That's what we call an independent event. Let's move on into another example. A coin is tossed and a single 6-sided dice is rolled. Find the probability of landing on the head side of the coin and rolling a 3 on the dice. Also, let's define if this is an independent event or if it's not. Well, first of all, we gotta toss our coin, and after that we're going to roll the dice. As you can see, these objects are different one to the other, so these are obviously going to be independent events. Now, to get the probabilities, well, for the coin, remember that for probability is basically a division, which in top we're gonna have the favorable cases, and at the bottom we're gonna have all of the possible cases. So it's gonna be 1 out of 2 sides of the coin. For the dice, we need to roll a number 3. So it's gonna be just 1 out of 6. Okay, because these probabilities can happen at the same time because we're talking about different objects, probabilities are going to be multiplied. So 1 over 2 multiplied by 1 out of 6 equals 1 out of 12. And that gives us the final probability for us to get this answer. Different one. Here we have a jar that it contains 3 red marbles, 5 green marbles, 2 blue marbles, and 6 yellow marbles. A marble is chosen at random from the jar. After replacing it, a second marble is chosen. So what is the probability of choosing a green and then a yellow marble? And we also need to define if it's an independent event or if it's not. Okay, first of all, to pick one of them at random, and let's suppose it's going to be a green marble. So let's set the probability for this. How many green marbles do we have? We have a total of 5 green marbles. And how many marbles in total do we have in the entire jar? Well, we have 16 marbles if we add them. So that gives the probability 5 out of 16. Then the problem, it says that we need to replace it. So let's take it back into the jar. Then we pick another marble at random. And let's assume that now it's a yellow marble. So we gotta do exactly the same thing to get the probability for this one. How many yellow marbles do we have? 6. And how many are in total? 16. As you can see in both probabilities, the total marbles inside of the jar are 16, which means that each one of these events are independent. Don't forget that yellow marble can be simplified or reduced into 3 out of 8. Now, for us to get the final probability, we need to multiply these 2 probabilities, 5 out of 16 and 3 over 8. That gives us a total of 15 divided by 128. That can be approximately 0.117, which means 11.7%. Well, that was a probability and a statistic video for independent events. Feel free to share this video, go ahead and subscribe, and if you need any other additional video, just go ahead and post it in the comments. See you later.